What's up, everyone? Welcome to Chicks and Salsa. Jen is frozen. Oh no, I thought. Are you there?
No,
Are you
I was just
Oh,
being
I thought
quiet
you were
for a moment.
frozen. She was just really still for a second. All right,
That
guys.
never happens.
Welcome to Chicks and Salsa. We have had some technical difficulties today. Y'all know how that goes. It is the day after Monday, so still maybe some Monday vibes going on. Welcome to our show. We have such a jam-packed show to talk to you about tonight. We have four different topics. We're going to start with something that just came out that was really exciting. Jen?
Baseball Hall of Fame elections. All right. Adrian Beltre, Joe Mauer, and Todd Helton were elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame on Tuesday after receiving at least 75% of the votes from the Baseball Writers Association of America. So all those Rocky fans, yes, Todd Helton with 79.7% of the votes in his sixth year of eligibility is now elected. Adrian Beltran, this is his first year that he could be elected, and he got 95.1% of the votes. And Joe Mauer, first year eligibility, he got 76.1% of the votes. So we are talking a Colorado Rocky, Minnesota Twin, and then Adrian is in Megan's backyard.
He didn't start out as a Ranger, but his best days were with the Rangers, I would say. He played more complete seasons than anybody since 1983, I believe, regular season. So just was constant. I mean, did have some injuries, but was, pretty healthy overall. Made a huge impact. He is in the 3,000 club. He finished his batting average, I believe, I think he finished with three something, or was it 286? Very exciting times for the Rangers. Not only are we the reigning champs, but also our guy got into Cooperstown. So very exciting world for the Rangers.
He won 4 Silver Sluggers, 5 Gold Gloves, and a pair of Platinum Gloves as a third baseman during his career. He hit 477 home runs, 1,707 RBIs across 2,933 games, 21-year career. That is just impressive.
And he was somebody that, is somebody that is highly entertaining. He's not out there just playing baseball. He's having a good time too. He's cutting up with everybody. He has such a great personality and just incredibly likable. So congratulations on the induction, and to everybody else too.
Yes. And all I know are Cubbies, so I'm staying out of this conversation.
Todd Helton spent his entire 17-year career with the Colorado Rockies. First baseman won a batting title in 2000 after hitting 372 and also took home 4 Silver Sluggers and 3 Gold Gloves. He finished his career with an impressive 316, 414, 539 slash line with 369 home runs, 1,401 runs scored, 1,406 ribbies across 2,247 games.
Awesome
stats. Impressive.
All right.
One last one. We just got to give a quick shout out to Mauer. He was a native of St. Paul, Minnesota, and he spent his entire 15-year career with the Twins. He was the 2009 American League MVP, was one of the best pure hitters in the league, winning 3 batting titles and 5 Silver Sluggers. He also made the All-Star game on 6 occasions and took home 3 Golden Gloves as a catcher. He finished his career with a 306 batting average, 143 home runs, 1,018 runs scored, and 923 ribbies. So congratulations to all 3 of them.
Awesome. All right, guys. This past weekend, we had the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. I'm sorry, Candy. Okay. First off, we started with the Texans versus the Ravens on this Saturday. The Texans lost 10-34. Now, it was tied 10-10 going into the half. Lamar struggled in the first half and then came out and had an amazing second half. He had 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. He rushed for right at 100 yards. An exciting game. The Texans still definitely kind of looked young. There were some mistakes that were made, but the future's bright there in Houston for sure.
Didn't Houston have one of the injuries on the defensive side, and that's why we think Baltimore came back in the second half more. I think there was a big key injury, and that really helped propel Baltimore. But they look tough. I mean, and they're at home. That's definitely going to be interesting this week.
For sure. All right, and then our next
like, good for you, CJ Stroud. He's done amazing. And Ravens fans, I've been hearing y'all talk. Be proud of your team, but don't say that Patrick Mahomes has never come up against Lamar Jackson. You're both in the AFC.
I think at this point, he's never had to. He's never even had to travel for the AFC Championship game. He's always been at home for that. And I think that you got to believe in yourself in order for it to work. So, but yes, there are times when you can be too cocky, but it is going to.
I understand it.
Well, it's going to be very different for Patrick and company this year. They're not exactly the same teams or had the offensive spark that they've had for the last few years. Now, they do have a ton of experience, though, at this stage. So I think that that's going to be a factor. But not being at home, how much of a factor do we think that is going to play into this?
It didn't play a factor in Buffalo.
Yeah, but they always figure Buffalo out in the playoffs.
Well, and also I think that a lot of people, and I mentioned this to our own little Chiefs chick, Miss Carrie, who is still abandoning us, but it's okay, Carrie. We love you anyway. But but honestly, I think people overlooked how important Eric Bemeny was. Offense. Everybody was giving the star power to Tyreek. Tyreek, great. He's phenomenal. Taking nothing away from the dude, right? Like, honestly. However, let's not take away from Eric Bemeny because he had his own magic, and that's why he's being interviewed this week or early next week for the Commanders, head coaching position. How often does that happen in the NFL? I mean, where you're ousting like head coach and his team are getting interviews. Like, Eric Bemeny is the real deal. Like, no offense, Ron. That's just my opinion. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a tight game. Don't forget, Patrick Mahomes has usurped Tom Brady's numbers. Patrick Mahomes taken Tom Brady's playoffs and like mojo and made it his own. Like, I'll say Tom Brady was the GOAT of the postseason. He's handing that title over to Mr. Mahomes right now. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, it is a very tall task. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I feel like Baltimore's just going to go in there and they're going to dominate Kansas City. Like, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen at all.
And the Kansas City defense, regardless of how much they've had offensive struggles, the defense hasn't shown any struggles. So I do feel like that's going to be a very tall task for them as well.
But I don't think they
Brady.
I just tweeted out there. Yeah. I think it's going to be, I don't know. I think Kansas City's going to have a tough time in Baltimore. I think it does depend a little bit on weather. But I think they're so used
I don't know. They're both cold weather teams. Like, I think it's supposed to maybe rain some, and it's going to be like around 35. But like you said, it does play an impact, especially if the field is slick. But
I think, the fan crowd noise does too, because let's face it, when you're in the opposing team, your fans are gonna raise up and raise the volume while Mahomes is trying to audible or maybe change plays at the line of scrimmage, and I think that makes it. That's where I think it affects them a little bit more.
Teams are getting smarter nowadays, though. Even the Lions even said that they had was it the Lions? No, the Pack. I'm sorry. It was the Lions or the Packers. I don't know why. I can't remember which one. Had said that they had actually practiced with a lot of Carrie's here. Hey. Hi. I was just talking about your boy. You decided not to abandon us tonight. Thank you.
Sorry, I've been driving all day, like since I'm on the East Coast still, I think. So for the last 12 hours. So.
Wait, did you drive through North Carolina and not say hi?
No, I'm in Ohio. So hi from Ohio on the road.
Okay, fine.
I did leave in North Carolina from the cruise ship. Did you not see me?
Mm-mm. Because you didn't message me to tell me you were.
Oh, my mistake. So sorry about that.
No, but they even I think they started doing this because of the Seahawks, and I know the Panthers have and most other teams have, but they've started listening, like practicing with high volume, like infiltrated noises, so that they can like work on their play calling and do their sign language, things like that. So, but VJ, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a great game this weekend, and but yeah, what do you think, Carrie?
So since I didn't know what we're talking about my game?
Yeah, Ravens and Chiefs.
I'm excited for it.
The comment that Damon wanted you to read. That's rude, Damon. That's rude.
Well, what did it say? I don't have my glasses on, so.
It said that Mahomes doesn't deserve to be in the same conversation as Brady.
But Damon, I'm sorry. Look at the stats. Mahomes
numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
You know, I'm not taking anything away from Brady.
No,
I promise.
He's a great quarterback for that time. Sorry, I said it.
VJ, we're coming back to this comment in a few minutes. I want to finish. I want Carrie's input.
Yeah. All right. So talk to us about your game, Carrie.
Kind of excited because quite honestly, you all know that I'm a very realistic person about my team. Mm-hmm. Until this last game, our offense was mediocre at best. I saw a glimpse of the past year's offense show up, and it was exciting. So I honestly went in fully prepared to let our season end, while not because I wanted it to, but because realistically we hadn't been playing to the level that we should be going further. Mm-hmm. But then I think that we can say the Bills are on a same cycle that, sorry, Megan, that the Cowboys are on. It's our year. They're on that cycle. And that being said, if our offense that showed up this last week shows up again, we have a chance. I am excited to watch Lamar and Mahomes battle it out for the first time ever. That's going to be really fun to see. I've actually wanted that for a while. Not that they're two different types of quarterbacks, but I think it'll be a very entertaining game regardless of however it turns out. And honest to goodness, y'all, seeing my team show up again in the AFC Championship is phenomenal.
With six straight years?
Six straight years. To say that Brady and Mahomes don't deserve the same conversation level is absurd, because 6 years in the league, 6 years in the league, 6 years AFC Championship. I mean, honestly, it's because of him. We didn't get there with Alex. We got there with Mahomes.
Right.
So
exactly. Like they played against each other for how many years too? Usually 3 times a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is that conversation to be had. And I'm not saying that Mahomes is better than Brady.
No,
Brady
absolutely
is better
not.
than Mahomes. Brady is his own person, and he brought his own star power, but do not take away from Mahomes.
Well, here's the thing. Brady was that era's game changer. And we're ushering in a new era. And how many times do we hear, well, this quarterback is Mahomes-esque or has Mahomes type style of gameplay? we don't hear, well, this one plays like Brady anymore. We don't.
No.
So if we're comparing all of the up and coming quarterbacks to what's currently coming into the league to Mahomes, why can't and shouldn't he be compared in the same conversation with Brady?
Right. Yep.
Well, and when you look at total touchdowns, Mahomes with Kelsey have more touchdowns than Gronkowski and Brady.
Do we want to go through and do score predictions real quick?
How did Mahomes just pass Montana like that? No, listen, I am not in one of those things that can say each era doesn't have their own great.
Wow.
And as we have watched the game change over the years, we have had outstanding greatness in each year, each change of the season. Mahomes will be surpassed by somebody else coming in the league in the next 5 to 7 years. And that's okay. Why can't we have greats up there in each decade? Right. I'm not willing to pit him against saying he's better than Montana. I'm not willing to say he's better than Brady. But right. I am saying that in this era, in what they have is accomplishing in a faster time frame than what Brady did.
Right.
You have to say yes, that is true.
Okay. All right. So obviously,
Cynthia and I've been having this debate, by the way.
We know you're going to ride with your team. What do you think the score is going to be?
It's going to come. I feel like, again, it's depending on which offense shows up.
Right.
I feel like it will be another 3-point decision game. That's my thought.
Okay. Candy?
Sorry, Carrie. I think the Ravens are going to take it, but I think it's going to be a relatively, I would say like 35-31. I think it's going to be up there.
I am not Candy. I have been saying for the last 2 weeks we're playing on borrowed time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. I don't see that that we can't do it, but I also think that the Ravens are playing on God mode. So
I think Lamar's playing on a mission. He's on a mission right now.
I think that I'm going to go 24-21, but I'm going to go in favor of Baltimore. And once again, this isn't a dig at Kansas City, but more just confidence in what we see from Lamar. And that, now don't get me wrong, both defenses are very good, but I don't know. It's just something about Baltimore this year. Now I could be wrong. Kansas City has that experience, especially at this stage. So, but I do agree. I think it's going to be probably a 3-point differential as well. And I see it being 24-21. Jen, what's your thoughts?
So my thought is with score the exact same as yours, 24-21. Okay. But, and here's where I'm going to cause controversy again, ladies. I think it's going to be the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes has the Brady playoff mindset.
He does.
Mm-hmm. Lamar is solid. Lamar deserves his chance at the ring. Not taking anything away from the man whatsoever. He has come back from injury after injury. He is still at the pinnacle of his career. He's awesome. But, hi, Jeremy. But my gloves. You're crazy.
So funny.
But I think that determination and that will is there, especially if some like crazy ass rumors are true.
Right.
Well, also, I mean, if you didn't see his determination show up in the Sub-Zero game and breaking of his helmet with his leading
and then NFL let him play for 2 more plays after that. Oh my gosh.
Leading with his head tackling. I mean, come on. I agree, but it's a realist to me. I don't think it's a given one way or the other. Right. I think if we were to base it off what we have seen all season, the Ravens is a shoe-in at this point. But as Jen said, Mahomes has that.
I know you need to say it, but you got to give it. You've got to give him that credit.
I do. Well, he does. He does, and I'm never going to doubt my team. But I also play with the realistic. I play realistic.
Okay.
Like it or leave it. That's how I see it.
Well, let's slide over to the next game. The Niners versus the Detroit Lions. They will be in San Francisco. Thoughts on this game?
My thought is Lions 20, San Francisco 17. I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring than the Ravens Kansas City game. I don't see the offenses scoring a huge ton, especially with Debo being questionable. Game time decision, they're saying.
Right.
And I saw San Francisco play against, and I'm like, against my Packers, and they're beatable. I mean, so, and I think Dan Campbell, I give a lot of credit to Dan Campbell. I think he's going to have his teams ready to take them on. And I think they're going to beat San Francisco.
Okay. This is a hard one for me. I want to believe in the heart of the Lions. They just really have it. Something that has shown up for the Lions this postseason that I didn't see at all during the regular season and definitely didn't see it last season was defense. Last season, they were literally the worst defense in the league. This season, not a ton better, a little better, more middle of the pack type of defense. But this postseason, I mean, they have really, really shown out. So if they can keep that same energy, I wonder what's going to happen with them not being able to play at home, because that energy there in Detroit, those fans really bring it. And are you going to be able to have that same energy in San Fran? Like, are your fans going to travel well? And can you go into San Fran? Because, San Francisco is known for going into those LA stadiums, buying up all the tickets, all the jerseys are red, and none of the local fans are there. So what happens if that happens for Detroit, if they go down there and they fill up in this game? So this one's tough for me, but I'm really hoping for the underdog in this one, and I'm going to go with Detroit. And I think it will be a little bit lower scoring as well, but I actually have it higher than the other game. So I'm going to go ahead and say probably 28-24.
Brian Snow, I love you. You batshit crazy, dude. That is not. Did you guys see what he predicted?
No.
I love you, Brian, but 45-28, that's just insulting to the Lions.
He's a San Francisco fan.
I know, and Brian and I've been chatting on Messenger. He knows that right now I'm a San Fran fan too. Sorry.
What about signing Ertz, though? How do we feel like that's going to make an impact?
Say that again.
The Lions signing Ertz. Do we feel like that's because they're rookie tight ends? They're rookie tight ends.
Some of them, but he won't know the live action of them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, I mean, that's a thing. That's a real thing. You can know everything on paper.
Too far removed from the game.
What?
Has he been too far removed from the game?
I kind of think so.
I mean, Odell came back. He had an impact with the Rams.
Well, what about CMC and how he walked right into San Fran and was so? I kind of see like I kind of see like Ertz being able to walk in and be a part of that Lions, the same way CMC was.
If for nothing else, someone to block, because look at how you can run. And if you looked at the Green Bay game, the Green Bay wide receivers were blocking for Aaron Jones, and we were running the ball some. So I think with their running duo, I think that Zach could really Ertz can really help him, even if it's just for that and a safety. He's a veteran. He gives Jared Goff another little weapon.
Well, I'm just going to say this. Honestly, they block for Christian for the 49ers to win, and I do think it will be a tight score. Feed Christian more. Send him to
I forgot why you're a San Francisco fan. It just now dawned on me.
Say that again?
I said I forgot why you're rooting for San Francisco. It just clicked to me real quick. She's like Christian. I'm sorry. I was just thinking out loud. It was like a light bulb over my head. Oh yeah, Christian.
But I mean, Christian is special. He's one of 3 players to ever make the 1,000 club. He's got a touchdown in every single game since he went to San Francisco, plus 2 triple threats. I mean, plus he's their emergency backup quarterback. I will say this. And he walked in being their emergency. Plus, you have to understand, he knew the playbook because he knew it was I do not know this definitively whatsoever. This is my assumption because of the relationship he has with Shanahan from childhood.
I gotta address this comment. Jeremy, did you just call Justin Fields a running back?
Jacob, were you sorry, guys. Sorry.
That took
but I do think it's going to be a tight game. I really do. I think it's anybody's game. And yes, 49er fans will travel very well because I have seen more than one at Bank of America Stadium more than just the last 6 years. Okay. Like, honestly, like, I remember, like, when Colin Kaepernick was there, like, they had a whole ton of them, too, so.
All right. Well, I guess let's go ahead and slide into our last 2 topics of the night. They're going to be kind of short. We're going to kind of just touch on them real quick. Today, we saw the shocking news that Adrian Griffin was let go by the Milwaukee Bucks. Thoughts on this, ladies? He is not right now. The team sits at the number 2 seed in the East, and they are, what's their record? 31-12. Is that right?
30-13.
30-13. Okay. Thoughts on this?
I think that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jen.
I was just going to say, I think it's crazy to do it after 43 games because you've got Dame still learning the scheme. They're listening to the fans too much, in my humble opinion. But
I don't think it's the fans. I think it's Giannis, and I think it's the team, and I think they're not getting along. And so, therefore, they wanted to change.
That's what I thought you were saying.
Mm-hmm. And I think Giannis has a lot more control than a lot of people think. I know he wanted him at first, but I think being that he just didn't have the success. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks traded away the defensive player of the year. Mm-hmm. They had to know that their defense was going to tank and not be as good. But to go from, I think they said 4th best in the league down to, or first in the league down to 22nd, mm-hmm. They can't afford that. If they want to be the championship, they can't be that low on defense. So I think they're going to go out. I think they're going to get a retired number from the Marquette Golden Eagles at the time. And I think they're going to go get Doc Rivers.
Okay. Do you think Doc Rivers is the right guy for the job?
I'm not sure if he's the right guy, but he might be the right guy for right now.
Okay. I feel like he still has a lot to prove. He got a championship there in Boston and then went to the LA for the Clippers and continually got put out of the playoffs by the Spurs, or they put us out, and they never made it. They haven't ever made it even to a Western Conference Finals, have they? So I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of respect for the Clippers. Then he went over to the Sixers. That was some problems too. So I don't know that I'm completely sold on Doc Rivers as a head coach. I think he's an awesome broadcaster. Like, I think he does well in the booth. Like, I think he should sit out there. But he is a coach. He said he's never the right guy.
You crack me up. That's why I keep laughing, ladies. I'm reading home stuff.
No, I agree. I think he is overrated. So I'm not sold on him being the one for the job, but he might be the best available right now, because if not Doc, who then? My thoughts on it is, why did you even let go of Budenholzer at the time that you let go of him? Because there wasn't a lot available at that time either whenever they let Budenholzer go. Like, some of the other the better coaches had already been swooped up by other teams. So I don't know. I definitely don't think Doc is the guy for it. So we shall see. I love the drama being over there in the East Coast. We saw last night, though, that we had two great performances last night, and I'm just going to touch on those real quick. Embiid had 70 points against my team, the Spurs. Obviously, we don't play any defense. And then Karl Anthony Towns had 62 points. It's a career high for him, but it was in a loss to the Charlotte Hornets, 128-125. Interesting loss, to have that type of performance and in a loss. And then also to kind of touch back to Embiid, you had that kind of performance and you only won by 10. That's kind of interesting as well. So, yeah,
I heard that he dunked over. Now, remember, I've just come off a ship and had spotty internet at best at times and been driving. But didn't I hear that Embiid dunked over Wemby?
Yes.
Wemby, I'm sorry.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. It was definitely a welcome to the NBA Rook type of moment,
I have yet to be able to see it, but I thought was rather interesting.
Don't get me wrong. Wemby had 30 points. It's not like he didn't perform, but it wasn't 70, and he definitely got dunked on. So yes. Now Terry Stotts is an interesting idea too. Terry Stotts probably should have been the head coach to begin with and had Adrian as his assistant. I think that probably would have worked a little bit better. But for our last topic, you guys know we like to end on a happy topic, and we had something super awesome happen this week. It is probably a once in a lifetime type of record. We had Tara VanDerveer become the winningest coach in NCAA basketball of all time. She's got 1,203 wins right now. She's had 38 years at Stanford. Before that, she was at Ohio State, and before that, she was at Idaho. She's been coaching since 1978. She went to Stanford in 1985. Y'all, that's the year I was born. She's been there my entire lifetime. She's been and something I wanted to touch on. Yeah, that record, 1,203 wins. Y'all want to know how many losses she's had?
How many?
206. That means her winning percentage is 81.8. Like she's almost at 82% winning percentage. That's insane. Love that she was able to reach this. And they're just now kind of halfway through the regular season, getting in a couple of weeks into conference play now. We're shortly away from the tournament, and here she is. She's still going to tack on those wins, and she doesn't look like she's ready to retire anytime soon. She is 70 years old, though, so we shall see. But I think she adds a couple of more seasons of wins onto that record, and I don't know if we ever see anybody get that record again.
Yeah. No, that's impressive. That's incredibly impressive. Congratulations, Coach.
I told the ladies, I was like, anytime Coach K gets usurped, I'm a happy girl.
You know what, Jeremy? Y'all, the Pistons should try to hire Tara VanDerveer because goodness, y'all need some help.
Hey, Jeremy, I forgot our last matchup. Did we win or did y'all win? I know y'all won the first time. Then you went on your 27 game losing streak.
Oh, right. Never thought anyone would crack that summit. Yeah. Yep. And then, Krzyzewski is the one who had it before, and he had 1,202 wins. So I just don't know that record's ever touched.
Well, and Dean had it before Krzyzewski.
Oh, right. Right.
So, honestly, I was listening to my favorite quarterbacks podcast, and he was like, records are meant to be broken. I welcome people to break my records.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I love this new you. You don't sound like you have CTE right now. Just don't talk about women anymore. But
and Cam's right. What good is a record if it isn't something to shoot for and surpass? So hats off to Cam for saying that. But yes, why don't we want those records to be broken? It just draws more viewership.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just joking, Damon. I'm glad that you have a sense of humor. All right, guys. Well, that does it for us this week. Thank you so much for commenting. We had tons of people on the show today. Tons of people watching. Oh yes, Candy, talk to us about that.
I have to keep plugging. This is my husband's book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It's available on Kindle or Amazon. It talks about how media has changed over my husband's 44 years in the media business. So it's a great read. Talks about all kinds of different interviews that he's done. He interviewed Muhammad Ali back in the day.
Oh, very
cool. You love that.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm still waiting for my copy in the mail. Scott.
All right, guys. We'll catch
I'm
us
not holding
back
you
next
responsible,
week.
Candy. You got enough on your plate. Scott.
Okay.
Go to
Catch
the
us back
mailbox.
next week at the same time. We appreciate everybody who shared the show, commented, and if there's any topics you guys want, feel free to hit up any one of us.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Hey, thanks. Bye. Bye, Carrie.